Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hail Yes podcast. We are back, everyone, and we are back with some changes, okay? I was having technical difficulties for a few weeks, and I know that this sounds like, Hailey, how is this exactly happening to you? You are a YouTuber. You've been doing this a long time. A little background about my YouTube career. I have been able to get away with putting a camera on a box for 10 years, having very minimal editing and very minimal lighting, also just kind of relying on sunlight, making sure I purchased a good mic that I was able to plug into my camera, and calling it a day. Podcast equipment is quite intricate. Granted, I had so much help from my team, and then we were having some technical issues. So I purchased this cable that plugs into my camera. And by the way, guys, I've had this camera for years, but I never actually really used it. And then this particular lens is new. It's a lens that was recommended to me by my podcast team. And what I do like about it is it really crisps out my background. A lot of you guys were like, girl, is that a green screen? And I'm like, no, that's my living room. We are very much in the living room, okay? I really do like this lens a lot. I don't love how zoomed in I feel, but I think that that's just my body dysmorphia talking, and I'll get used to it. I think it just makes me look a little bit larger on camera, but if anything, that just kind of helps me stick to my fitness journey even more, okay? And I know I look good, so it's fine. I feel good, I look good, and I am good. So we are back, we are better, and I'm hoping that this particular change can allow me to make more episodes more efficiently and pump them out to you. So yeah. Okay, let's chat. Let's have a little life update. Life has been good for me. Daylight savings definitely kicked my ass at first, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm normally the type of person who does not like change, but the truth is, I adapt quite well. So for me, it takes me a few days to kind of accept, the fate of everything, which is that it gets darker a lot earlier and my sunlight is very limited. But that being said, I'm not going to lie. I have been romanticizing my evenings a little bit more. I kind of love leaving the gym and it's dark out. It normally isn't when I leave the gym, and now it is. And when I get home, it feels like the appropriate time to eat dinner, where maybe before I was get some more things done because it just didn't feel like nighttime yet. And I prefer eating dinner when it feels like night. So I don't know. I've been kind of leaning into the cozy vibes and just kind of feeling it out. And I'm just adapting well to daylight savings. What about you guys? Are you feeling like your day is just completely gone? Or are you trying to get the most out of your sunlight? I know for me that I woke up super early this morning. So my trash pickup is today. And every once in a while, I will forget to bring my trash out the night before. But if I can beat the garbage men to putting my trash out, usually I can get it out in the morning. And because I woke up early, I went about my morning, kind of started my day, and I heard them picking it up 30 minutes ago. And I'm like, tea. So yeah, every once in a while, I just forget to take it out. Listen, I'm just a girl. Okay. Give me some grace. We have a lot going on in this house. I have the dogs. I have me. I have Hailmas coming up, which for those who don't know, every single year I do my version of Vlogmas. The difference is I call it Hailmas and I only do it Monday through Friday. So if you guys want to watch those, then head over to my main channel, Hailey Gamba, and you guys can watch me pretty much post every day leading up to Christmas. I'm really excited this year. I've planned in advance, so I'm really excited about that. And I'm actually going to be batch recording some podcast episodes as well because I don't even want to have to think about them during Hailmas. So this is one of many. Welcome. Anyways, today's episode is really, really, really exciting for me because I feel like it's a topic that a lot of women want discussed more. And I'm going to kind of talk about my way of getting your spark back, getting your pink back as a woman. There are just so many times in our life, so many different eras and seasons where we maybe just lost it. And you kind of can tell when you lose your spark. Sometimes it's sooner than other times. I know for me, I find that I notice that I've lost my spark when maybe my looks start to be affected by it. It could affect a lot of things in your life. It could affect how you feel, how you look, how you perform, kind of just your outlook on things. And I find that it usually stems from relationships ending. Maybe you're just entering a new season where you don't feel as excited, or maybe it's not a winning season. It could even be when you have maybe experienced some grief, some loss, and you haven't been able to navigate yourself better. Or maybe you're just kind of in a weird place in your life. A lot of people, when they turn a certain age, they view age as this very pivotal and monumental thing, and it can really affect how they feel, how they perform, how they look, and how they are. I know for me that I have lost my spark a few times in my life. I think maybe the first time I lost it was when I noticed that I was pouring more into other people. I am a Cancer, okay? Like astrologically, if you know anything about Cancers, we're nurturers. We are empaths. We are known for being good mothers, good wives, good friends, good listeners. What that does, at least for me, is when I really love someone, when I really want to help someone, I do. But I do it from a place where it empties my own cup. And I don't even realize it. That's what's so scary, is it's not like I'm doing things with the expectation that this person is going to be like so appreciative and they're going to notice. And I'm like, look at me, I'm depleting myself for you. No, I don't even know I'm depleting myself until it's like too late. In the past, I used to do a lot for people and it gave me a lot of life, but then I realized it was taking away from my own dreams, goals, and desires, and it would make me lose my spark. I've also lost my spark when I didn't honor my word. So like, let's just say I really wanted to start getting back into fitness and eating well, and I just couldn't get myself to do it. That makes me feel like not so great. And I just feel very like hopeless. I feel lethargic, hopeless, ugly, not valuable, and it's like not a great feeling. So kind of want to discuss my way, my particular take on getting your spark back. You are so beautiful. You are so capable, but you really need to be someone who's actionable about the things that bother you. And if you notice, whether it's like a visual thing where you're like, oh my God, I'm seeing a different version of me, or it could even just be that you're more negative, you're more cynical, you're jaded, you just don't perform well, and you just feel so we need to say, okay, I notice that this is going on. Let me try to become hyper aware so that I can get a version of me back that I once really loved. And maybe for some of you, there was never really a version of you that you felt like you were radiating, which that can feel weird too, right? Where you went your whole life having like the absence of a spark because maybe you were living in other people's lives more. And then when you finally got like a sense of independence, you were like, wait, who am I? What am I? And you feel like, okay, this is not where I want to be. It could be one of the two. It could be that you either lost it or you never had it. Let's discuss how to get it back, how to feel amazing. I wrote down what I personally did, and I'll give you guys examples as well. And hopefully this will help you guys out. If you guys like these types of podcast episodes, please, if you haven't already, rate the show. Give it 5 stars, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, send this to a friend. Maybe you notice your friend is going through something. Send this to her because she'll need it. You guys know that the holiday chaos is already here, and I refuse to stress over gifts this year. Uncommon Goods takes the stress out of gifting because they have thousands of unique, high-quality finds you won't see anywhere else. What I love about Uncommon Goods is that the gifting feels sentimental and special. They have so many different gifts on there that are just a little bit more unique, and they have some sort of value to them. So I feel like it's not like you're just gifting somebody anything. It's something that means something to you or to that person. A lot of the items are like handmade or made by someone with a small business, which is really nice. Shopping there will support your local artists and people with small businesses, which is amazing. And they donate $1 to a nonprofit with every single purchase. So don't wait, guys. Cross those names off the list before the holiday rush. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/hailyes. That's uncommongoods.com/hailyes to get 15% off your gift. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. Okay, the first thing that I wrote down for getting your spark back, guys, is you need to get like really sick and tired of the version of you that's boring, that's negative, that's lackluster. I think we actually get comfortable not having a spark. We become like a person who like hides themselves. We like put ourselves in the house. We become like an introvert based off of like trauma, pain, or just maybe you've experienced something that just made you feel like you lost your shine and you just don't want to do anything. you need to acknowledge that you're doing that. You need to acknowledge that that's happening and then kind of get sick of it because it's really difficult to get your spark back. You need to get uncomfortable with not having it. And I think for me, what will always be my breaking point in like realizing, okay, girl, you cannot live like this anymore. You need to like get your life together is when it starts affecting my looks. Because I'm not going to lie, I get vain about stuff like that. I like when I look good. I like when I look vibrant. And it's not even just about like gaining weight or looking ugly, but you can notice like a different sparkle in your eye. Your skin looks brighter. You just look healthier and happier when your spark is back. So just kind of getting sick and tired of like feeling lackluster and worthless. Okay. Because then the other things that I tell you to implement will stick a little bit better. Okay. The next thing you have to do, guys, is you need to delete people from social media, block people in your phone. I don't care where you're blocking or deleting from, but you need to do that to anyone who is disturbing your peace. Let's just be so fucking for real, ladies. I know that a lot of you guys have lost your spark because a guy that you like were like passionately in love with maybe like moved on to another girl, or your situationship didn't work out, or you started gaining weight in a relationship that wasn't serving you and then he ended up leaving you and now you're stuck with this body. Okay, we've all been there. Okay, let's just acknowledge that it's happening. It's fine. But you need to just like delete and remove, because if you really want to get better, you need to stop thinking that stunting on your ex is how you're going to get your spark back. Doing anything from a place of revenge is very unproductive in my opinion, because to me, the best revenge is just getting better with time. Nobody can ever say that like I went out of my way to like ruin something that they had going on. It's just not my thing. I just don't care, because the energy that you can pour into focusing on someone else, you could just pour into yourself. And I much rather benefit in real time than affect someone else's life, because you cannot control other people. So that being said, delete, remove, block. Stop keeping anyone and anything that is disturbing your peace in your atmosphere, whether it's digitally or even in real life, okay? And I know that some of you guys, you maybe have to see this person on a weekly basis, but you can remove yourself. You can create distance and try to create a space or a bubble where your peace is not being disrupted. And that also goes for things that maybe trigger you. If you get triggered by certain things, yes, I do believe that you should heal those triggers, but in the meantime, remove it. You do not have to subject yourself to things that are causing you pain, especially when you are trying to actively get your spark back. Let's not do that. Like, let's not put ourselves in harm's way mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay. I'm the queen of blocking. If I find that someone is disrespecting me or making me feel like I don't want them in my space, I will block them. I will remove them. I will unfollow them. And I'm at a place in my life right now where I may not be like where most 28-year-old women are, because I think that, or I should say, when it pertains to history, people my age are married, have children, have different lives than me. But I feel super blessed at this point in my life that I'm able to have the life of my dreams, do what I want. I have free will. I have independence, and I'm going to use that to my advantage rather than complaining about it. I don't like spending my days complaining about things that I don't have, because it's really just not productive. I rather just be super grateful for all the opportunities I am presented. And I live a very blessed life, and it might not be perfect, but it's very blessed. And that being said, what I find to be very important in keeping my life blessed is the company that I keep. So if I find that someone is disturbing my peace, my atmosphere, my aura, my environment, I'm going to remove them, because the company that I keep needs to be positive. It needs to be exciting. It needs to be helpful. It needs to be resourceful and generous and kind. So if it's not, I don't want it. I just don't. So that pretty much goes into my next thing, which is the company that you keep. Okay. I want you guys to get more discerning with who you have in your life. Who are your mentors? Who are your friends? Who is your confidant? And, outside of those people, how much of that do you give to yourself? Are you someone that you can trust? Are you your own best friend? Are you someone that feels good in your own space and company? And if that's not the case, let's get better at that. I used to say I dislike this about myself and I dislike that. Rather than focusing on all the things I don't like about myself, what I did was I just got better at life. I became someone that I admired. I started becoming a woman of my word, which was very important to me, because I think a huge reason why I had a not so great relationship with myself was probably because I wasn't honoring myself in ways, and I just became someone that started doing that more. So that being said, be good company and then also look for good company. When you're outsourcing a friend, a person that you can speak to, an acquaintance, a connection, the company that you keep will help you with your spark. I know people who are the most beautiful, radiating, happy people. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have been in spaces with people like that where I've met their friend group. Their friend group was tragic. It was giving negative. It was giving small. It was giving sad. And it's really hard to stay positive and stay winning and evolving and growing when your immediate circle is not where you're at when it pertains to how you look at life. It is so crucial that the people that you are around are inspiring you, are making you feel good, are promoting living a happy, healthy, and joyous lifestyle. And when they're not, and when they're always complaining or very small-minded or they lack optimism, they're not someone who has a certain level of human respect, they're not good at being welcoming to others and they don't flow a certain way, it can be really hard to grow in an environment like that. So maybe cut off who you need to cut off and create distance from who you need to create distance from. But more specifically, let's start outsourcing connections that are more meaningful. Okay? It's so important. And the next thing, okay, when you want to get your spark back, and this is so important, and I know that this worked for me, was curate a routine that is inspiring. A lot of us just lack routine. We lack rituals. We're not really doing things in a regimented way that supports our goals. And when we lose our spark, it's because we've lost our touch with life. We just don't feel super excited about the day. And what excites me about my day is having things on the schedule that allow me to feel inspired, that allow me to create, that allow me to be happy, that allow me to grow. And my career in itself really helps me with that. But sometimes I hit a wall and my career can be kind of boring, or it could feel like there's no growth. So I have to find other outlets in hobbies and going to the gym and hanging out with friends. There are so many things. And there is nothing wrong with starting something right now and creating something in your routine that you've never done before. Who is going to stop you? If you say today, you know what, I kind of do want to wake up earlier because it will promote a better day for myself, who's stopping you? The only person that's stopping you is yourself. So if you really want to get your spark back, create a routine that is inspiring, waking up early, eating a certain way, doing certain things in your energetic window that allow you to feel like you've gotten things done. Hang out with friends, do some more self-care, just do more things for you. And when you create a routine that you're inspired by, you feel more productive and you feel like you have more of a purpose. So that really has helped me. And I definitely did notice that when I would lose my spark, there was a lack of structure. I tend to abandon myself the most, and I've already said this earlier, when I'm putting too much of my time in other people. I notice that I am starting to fall off when I'm thinking about someone or something too much, that it's taking up parts of my day that it shouldn't. When I was dealing with my situationship, guys, when I tell you, I hooked up with this man every single week for months, and my entire week was contingent on me seeing this person. And that really put a wrench in my life, in my day, and I did lose my spark. I remember looking at photos of myself before I was in my situationship, during, and then after. When I tell you guys, I looked so bad towards the end of our dynamic because I was drinking, I was angry, I was anxious, I felt like I lacked purpose and structure. And it's sad because people should never create this much change within you, but it happens. And I give myself the grace and the space to have learned from it. But after that experience, I will never put myself in that predicament again, where I'm giving all of my thoughts and ideas to a person because it took away from my own routine and schedule. So now creating a routine that I'm inspired by, that no matter what goes on in my life, it can't change. That is so crucial and important to me. And I would really recommend adding something to your routine and to your schedule that adds value and that is new. Sometimes you're just bored and you need something to change. You need a switch up, especially to all of my girlies that are watching that are like moms or just people who have a very strict routine for years, you maybe just get kind of bored with that. You need to put something new in your life. You need to add a new exciting thing, whether that's a new hobby, a new interest. Maybe you just start journaling and you never have, or you pick up reading, or let's just say you have been reading, but all you read is self-care books exclusively. Maybe switch to like horror books or romance novels and just switch up something in your routine that's new that creates like an exciting vibe. I literally just added doing home renovation projects myself to my routine. Granted, I do always have Antonio. And if you guys don't know this already, Antonio is my contractor who is a jack of all trades and has done pretty much everything you guys see, like the molding on the walls, all of my light fixtures he put up for me. He did a lot in my house. I just had him actually here recently to hang up a few more light fixtures, and they just look so beautiful. And it's giving my house a modern touch that I've always wanted. But my home is a work in progress. And there are some things that I can actually do on my own if I just learn. So that's been my new thing. I've been learning how to do new home projects. And maybe, just maybe during Hailmas, you guys will see me do some sort of renovation in one of the vlogs that I have never done before. So I'm getting really excited about that. You kind of realize that these are not difficult things, they're just things that you need to practice. It's not that I am better than people who have failed. I have failed probably more times than people who have just given up. And I've allowed my failures to guide me to a win rather than guiding me to me just never doing something again. So I allow myself to fail and to learn versus fail and give up. And that's a big thing for me. So I like to start new things. Hey, if whatever you add to your routine you don't love, you can add something different. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. You can always do something different, but that's what I like to do. And yeah, so home renovation projects. So that's a great way to, create a nice little spark within you guys. Get little glimmers of hope in your life and you'll see such a difference. Depending on how you guys function in a day-to-day basis, this next point will help you. But for all of my extroverts who tend to be people pleasers, that tend to not know how to say no, that tend to always be like spreading themselves too thin, I think to get your spark back, sometimes you need to create distance and really lean into your solitude and alone time. I know for me that I can get really extroverted in certain seasons where I am seeing multiple friends a week. I am going out to multiple dinners, multiple lunches. I am just creating a space for my friends where they feel like they are being seen and heard at all times. And that's not always conducive for me. Sometimes I do lose myself when I'm always doing that. So what I've learned is to take a step back to tell everyone, hey guys, I'm working on myself right now. I'm doing this. And it's no disrespect. I just need to focus on me right now. And creating distance and having a moment of solitude can do wonders for your spark. It can really bring a lot more life to you. You need rest and recovery. You need to be alone in your own thoughts. Sometimes it just takes having your alone time to get the creative juices flowing again. Because if you're constantly having conversation and you're a part of everyone's lives, it's really difficult to think about your life solely. It's really hard. So you need to create that distance. And especially for my girlies who are in relationships who spend every day with their partner and you're always in conversation with them, you need to really map out time where you're just thinking about your own goals, dreams, desires, and what you want to do. Because you can get really, really, really just enamored with somebody else's life and then it takes away from your own. It's more so just involved. You can be too involved with what you guys are doing together that you forget about what's important for just you. And having your own happy life should be encouraged no matter what, whether you're single or in a relationship. So get back to just creating a space where you're able to just create that environment for yourself. Being in solitude, detaching, creating distance, scheduling out people in advance and not doing everything on a whim, and you'll feel so much better. You'll get your spark back for sure. Okay, for all of my ADHD girlies, a lot of the times the reason why you don't have your spark is because you are not leaning into your creativity. It is so crucial, especially for women, for us to be leaning into our feminine energy and essence and creating a creative environment for ourselves. Depression needs to be transformed into expression. You need to be able to transmute the feeling of that lullness, that fatigue, that discomfort, that sadness, and express yourself more. That's really the missing piece in your life. You might just have such a regimen and routine that just feels very I don't know, structured in a way that doesn't allow you to have creativity, you're missing that component in your life. And if you are an ADHD baddie or just someone who is neurodivergent, creativity is necessary for your life because it's what you thrive doing. Whether it's painting, journaling, writing, reading, doing something that is just giving you purpose and it's a passion of yours. It's so necessary, guys. It's so necessary. So yes, the way out of depression is expression. And what I've also learned about depression is it hates a moving target. So as long as you're continuously doing really amazing things for yourself and you're trying to better yourself and you're creating new goals and new dreams, and it could be a very small goal. It doesn't always have to be these major things that you're doing, but it could just be something very simple, like reading 5 pages of a book in the morning, or doing a meditation, or going to Pilates, or just doing something that allows you to express yourself freely. This is so needed, okay? This is extremely needed for you to get your spark back. A lot of you guys are just not expressing yourself. You're too involved with work. You're too involved with your kids. You're too involved with your boyfriend. You're too involved with whatever is going on in your family life that you have not spent any time leaning into your own creative outlets. Why? You need to. You need to start finding yourself through what is exciting for you outside of work and outside of people. What makes you excited? What makes your heart sing? What gives you just like a glimmer of hope in life? And start leaning into that. Get very expressive. Become someone who is just capable of creating messy art in your life. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Getting rid of your perfectionism is going to really help you in actually creating experiences for yourself that are meaningful, because a lot of the times your perfectionism is your excuse for why you're procrastinating, which is your excuse for why you're not doing things. Stop being a perfectionist and you'll be able to create more stuff. And the last thing I want to mention for getting your spark back, and this really helped me, is enjoying the art of becoming. Now, what I mean by this is we are so obsessed with who we're going to be that we don't even romanticize the journey in getting there. And I think it's because there's parts of us where we don't really want to celebrate who we are today. Take this from someone who has transformed her life many times. I have gone through so many different journeys, whether it was a weight loss journey or a career journey, a money journey, and just a discernment journey where I went from being more naive to being a little bit wiser. When I reflect on who I used to be, I don't reflect and say, ew, I hate her. She's gross. She's an idiot. No, like if anything, I'm like, oh my God, like I wish I embraced her more. I wish I let her document what she was going through more, because I thought that she was worthless in a way. I thought that she wasn't important. There is a level of importance in who you are right now because it's a part of your journey. It's a part of your journey in becoming. So let's just say in 5 years, you're living your dream life. Maybe you've officially made 6 figures. You're driving your dream car. You're with your dream partner. Who you were prior is not an uglier version of you. It's just a different version of you. And I wish that I celebrated that version of me more. And now I am able to acknowledge that. And it allows me to romanticize the art of becoming rather than just always thinking about my future self. Yes, my future self is wonderful. I can't wait to be her. But who am I right now and how can I enjoy the present? How can I romanticize the present? How can I romanticize getting my spark back? Whether that's going to the gym, starting a new project, becoming more creative, outsourcing more things, meeting new people, whatever it is, how can I romanticize that? How can I enjoy that? How can I embrace that? And that's really what I want you guys to do, because I think a lot of the times you're not depressed. You're just obsessed with who you're not. And that is just not productive. Become someone who enjoys not fully having something. Because have you ever really thought about what you would feel like when you actually do get things? That's like a huge thing that I never even envisioned until I started receiving things. For instance, when I got like my YouTube plaque, I remember obsessing over it before I got it. And then when I got it, it felt differently than I thought it would feel. And that's not to say that I didn't appreciate it. It just feels different. And actually now reflecting, the journey into getting some of the things that I've gotten or just achieving some of my goals was way more fun than actually achieving it or getting it. So think about that. Embrace the art of becoming. And you might actually get your spark back quicker than you even think. Okay, guys. I know this episode was kind of needed, okay? I even feel lighter talking about it. I feel so much better, and I didn't even lose my spark recently, but every once in a while I'll feel a little Like I definitely did crash out a few months ago, and I called one of my best friends, and it felt good because I'm the kind of person where I'll just cry it out, feel it out, and then I get over it quicker. And I like that about myself because I don't want to sit in something that feels negative for too long. But that being said, I even feel lighter after this conversation. I hope it has helped someone who is feeling a little bit just like depresso right now. Like I get it. Especially as the seasons are changing. I really want you guys to lean into all of these tips. Try to figure out what you can do to just feel good again, get your pink back. And I know that you guys will be able to if you just implement some of these steps. Okay, let's kind of conclude today's episode with some Hail Mail. I love answering your guys' questions. And I think that it's just something that allows me to feel connected to you. So if you guys want to send in some questions for Hail Mail, please don't hesitate to leave me a question down below on these YouTube videos if you guys are watching. And if you guys aren't watching, head to the Hail Yes Podcast Instagram page and write a DM, and I will read one of your DMs. Okay, so today's Hail Mail is actually a homeowner question. I'm actually excited about this because I never really talk about this. The question is something that I've learned as a homeowner this month. I'm not going to lie, and I wish I could knock on wood right now, but being a homeowner has been one of the greatest blessings for me because, I don't know, my house has given me such a purpose that I didn't even think that having a home would do for me because I've lived in 2 apartments prior. But there's just something so beautiful about having something of your own. But what I learned this month is that subtle changes really do make a big difference. And I think for a long time, I used to think that I have to do a major project to see a major difference in the home. But I literally just changed 2 light fixtures and it looks so different in my house. So something I learned this month is subtle changes, small changes make a big difference. And lighting makes a big difference in a house. I love it. I think it's just so nice. And just really creating a space that you're inspired in and that feels like yours. I do not follow trends when it pertains to my house. My house is very much my taste in real life. And I don't care if it's not someone else's because I have to live in it and I love my home. So everything in my house is very much something that I would have chosen for myself, regardless of social media influence or any of that, which I love. It's mine. It's very much mine. So yeah, that's what I learned. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Let's get our spark back, ladies. I think that it's very important that you acknowledge that this is something that you really care to fix within your life and to want to work on. And once you kind of get the recipe to how to get it back, a lot of the times you'll never lose it for a long period of time again. And when you notice yourself drifting in that way, you can get yourself back quickly. So send this to a friend, a coworker, maybe your mom, maybe a new mom in your life, a friend that maybe just became a mother, someone who's just been kind of going through it. Send this to them. Maybe they will really feel inspired to kind of get their vibe going. And it's important. It makes you feel better. You look better. You perform better. So yeah, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to comment. Make sure to rate the podcast. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in for the Hail Yes Podcast. And yeah, signing off. See you guys in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Pioneer.